Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today it's laid back cooking with Jack Kravitz. Classes are held each month. I also make my new favorite cookie, pistachio cranberry. But first, in honor of Memorial Day, a visit to the 9/11 Memorial Park. Well, this segment has been a long time in the making. Almost daily, I drive down Raccoon Road here in Austintown by the 9/11 Memorial Park. And Pat Connolly, who the overseer of all things here at the park and really the one who got it together, every time I run into you, said, "When are you going to come visit me? When are we going to do a show on this?" So I finally made it here, and I just think, you really spurred everyone into action and got this whole park going. And why did you find that to be so important to honor the victims of 9/11?
Well, I'm asked that question a lot. Did I know anybody or have any relatives? And my answer was always the same. I knew every one of them. They were all Americans.
How long did it take for you to put this plan into action after September 11th?
Well, what I did for a year, I didn't talk to nobody about it. I visited about 50 communities. I knew I wanted to build a memorial. And I found out that almost every community, I'd say 99% of them had a gazebo. I found out that bricks were one way of getting some money, but the main thing was a piece of property.
Yes.
And that's where I run into a little bit of a problem. I got this land through the township by Lisa Oles. And if it wasn't for Lisa, I don't know where I would have been or where I'd have went. When she first brought me down here, I just looked around. I mean, you were looking at just a field here.
Yeah. Well, when you enter the park, the first thing you see are beams from the World Trade Center. Mm-hmm. I mean, and what you say they go down almost 8 more feet to secure them.
Yeah, they're down 8 feet. The iron workers did all the work for us. They took it over to their shop over there in the Borman and welded it all together and brought it over here. And
how did you acquire this?
Good question. I'll make it short. It took 2.5 years to get these. We finally went up to JFK Airport. They have 2 hangars up there that has everything from the World Trade Center in it. They're gigantic, and I was fortunate enough to get these 2.
The chapel is really lovely. I mean, this is a really nice addition. And you told me how many weddings have taken place here?
29. Not all in the chapel, but there have been 29 here. A couple went in the gazebo, but 29, we're up to 29.
And why the chapel? What made you want to erect that?
I just felt with a memorial, there had to be a place to make peace, or if you wanted to pray, that a chapel would be
for
appropriate.
meditation, yes. And this pagoda honors those that were on Flight 93.
It's we have the names down here of each passenger that was on the plane that day. Let's Roll was supposed to be the last thing that was said by Bremer. So
and then what is in the urn?
We have soil for where Flight 93, where the plane went down. I acquired this from one of the ambassadors down there.
So you have beams from the World Trade Center, you have the soil from the field in Pennsylvania, and you also got the Pentagon.
You got stones from the Pentagon.
You are like a professional. Now, how did you go about acquiring these stones?
That's a story
brick and
itself.
mortar.
Yeah, this, believe it or not, this stone here weighs over 200 pounds. I know it don't look it, but it does.
Now the gazebo is shaped
Pentagonal shape for the Pentagon.
So that's really what you need. You need money and you need volunteers to keep this going.
It takes a lot to, keep the park, keep it up. And we can always use donations. The rule I made here was no politics. None. Hasn't ruined. I don't accept federal money, no state money, no township money, and no Mahoney County money. Because then they, from what I've seen a lot of times, then they feel like they own it, or they own part of it. And nobody owns this but the people. And that's the way it'll always be.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. I am here with Rudy the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. And Rudy, you really take eat, drink, celebrate seriously.
Yes, we do, Casey. Not only in our regular pub, but we have a banquet room, party room. We seat 25 to 150. We cater for private parties, meetings, banquets, showers, reunions, you name it, we can do it. We got you covered. Private menus, special menus, anything you need, Chef Reggie can work it out for you.
I just love the idea that you have the entire room, if you need it, and a private bar. In fact, my class reunion from the Academy is going to be held at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
And we thank you guys for coming. Like I said, it's our motto is eat, drink, celebrate. We like to specialize and help you out and do everything we can to make your memories last long.
Stop by. They will prove it. Here's to the Magic Tree.
Salute.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life. Trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
Hi, I'm Tim Crow, owner of Crow's Cabinets, and this is my dad Paul, who started the company over 40 years ago. At Crow's Cabinets, we build and install the perfect cabinets for your home or business. We design complete kitchens, bathrooms, garages, and more.
If you can dream it, we can build it.
Today I'm going to share with you a borrowed recipe. My buddy Martin comes to visit and he brings me these cookies. They were delicious. They had the dried cranberries in it and pistachios, and they were just delicious. So I said, well, I need the recipe for these. He said, they're so easy. Let me get you the recipe. And then it winds up that he got them from a girlfriend of his, and then she got it from Gourmet Magazine. So we hunted it down, and this is easy to make, low in sugar, loaded with flavor, and it is a rolled icebox cookie. So you chill the dough and then you slice off the cookies. And I'm telling you, I love these things. They are called cranberry pistachio cookies. How easy is that? For this recipe, you'll need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup unsalted butter softened, 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of finely grated orange zest, 1/2 cup of shelled pistachios, not the dyed red ones, 1/3 cup of dried cranberries, 1 egg lightly beaten, and 1/4 cup of decorative sugar, preferably coarse. Well, I've made a few modifications. The recipe only called for like a 1/2 teaspoon of the grated orange zest. I think the orange zest adds a lot. So I just use the orange zest from an entire orange. And it probably winds up to be about 1.5 teaspoons. And I don't think it varies the flavor at all. And if you can, please try to find pre-shelled pistachios, because going through that was kind of a pain in the neck too. I couldn't find them pre-shelled. And before we do anything else, before we start mixing, I am just going to put the salt and the cinnamon, the dry ingredients together, and mix these. Now, I did sift my flour. And now we will take the 3/4 cup of softened, unsalted butter, and we'll put that in the bowl here of the mixer. And we'll throw in the orange zest and the sugar. Remember, there's only 6 tablespoons of sugar. That's not very much for a cookie. So we'll just put this on medium, and we are going to blend this until fluffy. It'll be about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, so the cookie batter is nice and fluffy. It smells so good with the orange zest, and it's such a pretty color. And now I'm gonna put this on low, and we will add 1/3 of the dry ingredients. In different intervals. So we'll start with that, and we'll just do this until it's combined. I just love my stand mixer. My mother-in-law she got a new one, gave me her old one, and I love it. I never had one before, and I just use it more than you can imagine. Now we'll add the rest of it. And we just mix this until it becomes all clumpy and together, because you don't want to overmix the cookie dough. And now we're going to add the pistachios. I chop them up a little bit, not real fine, but spread them out a little bit. And then the dried cranberries. You can chop those up too, but those might not be as necessary. And all I'm gonna do is just put this on low and blend it up real good, about 1 minute. So I've gotten all of the dough, and just work it a little bit with your hands if it's a little crumbly. And I've taken it out of the mixing bowl. And then what you're gonna do is just cut it in half. So separate. I'll put this one back in the bowl. So you want it to be about 1 inch and a quarter round, and spread it out and try to work it. I'm not doing very good. Use the wax paper to help you roll it out a little bit. But now they want it to be a bar, not round. So now that you have it in the paper, you are gonna square it off. See? So they're like 2 bars of dough. We'll wrap it up, and then I'll put it in some plastic wrap, and I will put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. But of course, I made some last night, and we'll get that out of there, and we'll slice it. But you want these to be nice and cold. So what I'm gonna do first is use the egg wash and just brush all the sides of the bar, box, whatever you want to call these, and just make sure there's enough to catch the sugar. Don't worry about the ends. And then you pour, I love the sugar. It's beautiful. It's coarse, and it has like gold. It's called cupcake gems. But you could use any coarse sugar. What is it, the turbinado? A lot of people like to use that. Just roll the bars in the sugar. And they don't have to be super coated with this. And then what we're gonna do is slice them. Forget the ends because they're a little funky. But about 1/4 inch. That is about as thick as these cookies should be. You don't want them too thick. But if they're too thin, a couple times I did cut them too thin and they burn pretty quickly. And see, look how pretty they are. Do you see how nice with the pistachio and the cranberry? They're just beautiful. And then they have the little glitter of sugar. They don't spread, so you could put them on your cookie sheet just about 1/2 inch apart. They're imperfect cookies, but they are so good. So I'll put them in the oven. Let's start at 12 minutes. And at 6 minutes, take them, turn them around, switch their place so they're evenly baked, and then start checking again in another 6. It should be about 12 minutes. You don't want these to over bake. See, you just want them brown on the edges. Aren't they a nice looking cookie? And as soon as you can, you don't want them to cook any further because they do turn quickly. So Jelaine, you haven't had these cookies.
No, I've been waiting for these all day.
I know. And they are really, really good. I love the way they're not perfect, but they are so nice. And then see, I use the pretty sugar crystals and see it has like little gold on it. So tell me what you think.
Oh, they're delicious.
Not super sweet, not a lot of sugar, but for the pistachios and the cranberries, you know, I think these would also be good with dried cherries.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Those Traverse City makes.
Yes, like the Michigan ones. Just go to my website for the pistachio cranberry cookies. You are going to love them. Cheers. And a nice cup of coffee. Always works well. CaseyMaloneShow.com. Enjoy. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
At the Vein Center and Med Spa, we realize the serious health issue varicose veins can cause. We know it's more than just cosmetic. That's why we provide you with caring and personal service in a clean and friendly atmosphere. All vein procedures are done in our office during convenient and flexible hours by a medical doctor with over 20 years experience. The Vein Center and Med Spa also offers fillers and neurotoxin procedures, hydrofacials, and laser hair removal services. And now we're proud to welcome Dr. Kiesel to our practice. Call the Vein Center and Med Spa for a free consultation and see why our patients leave satisfied.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Selling engagement rings never gets old. It's love.
It's a huge on-taping because they're going to wear that ring probably forever, but if they're not going to wear it forever, they're going to pass it down to somebody.
Our rings will hold a lifetime, and we want to make sure it does. We stand by every single thing that we sell. I believe I can find the perfect ring. I really try to get them exactly what she would want.
And to just be a little part of that is really, it warms your heart inside.
Get real, get Kamara.
Hi, I'm Tim Crow, owner of Crow's Cabinets, and this is my dad, Paul, who started the company over 40 years ago. At Crow's Cabinets, we build and install the perfect cabinets for your home or business. We design complete kitchens, bathrooms, garages, and more.
If you can dream it, we can build it.
Jack Kravitz is the proprietor of Kravitz Deli and the Garden Cafe here at Fellows Riverside Gardens. And we're down here in the main kitchen at the Dee Dee Davis Center. And this is where Jack conducts laid-back cooking classes. And you can come every month, except for the month of March.
Except for the month of March.
Because it's the high holiday, and he respects that Irish tradition. Because, I mean, I don't even want to talk about how much corned beef you crank out.
It's a crazy corned beef holiday.
But I'm really excited to be here for the Asian appetizers.
Asian appetizers, yeah.
And where do you draw inspiration every month for the different themes?
Well, you know, our catering, we do all the catering at the park, is called Inspired Catering. So we kind of use inspirations from all sorts of different things. But I kind of sit back and say, what would I like to do? I love doing Asian food. I love making soups. We like, in the summer, we like grilling.
Yeah.
And we have 2 summer classes. One we call Everything But the Steak.
Okay.
And it's everything like chicken and shrimp and vegetables, ratatouille, all off the grill.
Well, you must learn a lot, though, you know, because you're really extending your reach, too, trying to keep things updated.
Well, yeah, today, for example, we're going to try...
Because when I think Asian food, don't you think Jack Kravitz?
Absolutely. You know, Jews and Asian food.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It kind of goes together. I mean,
yeah.
what do Jews do on Christmas? They go to the Chinese restaurant.
That's right. So, what appetizers are you really fond of? Are we going to be doing...
We're going to be making lettuce wraps. We're going to be making Vietnamese spring rolls. We're going to be doing dumplings, pan-fried and steamed dumplings. And we're going to be doing...
Well, I got the recipes here.
I don't know what we're doing.
And what's really nice is it's $20 for Mahoning County residents, $25 if you're a non-Mahoning resident, but you get all the recipes to these appetizers, and you know you're going to give us some slick tips.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about knife skills.
You know, that's so important because people are afraid of my knife skills. I know people watch me and they're like, oh man, Casey, you're really bad with the knife.
Well, I do a lot of participation in class, and I let people come up and help. I don't want them to get cut. So one of the first things we do every class is we go over knife skills.
Oh, that is good. That is good. I'm going to benefit from that. And then we all get to taste the fruits of the labor.
Oh yeah, throughout the whole afternoon, the whole evening, you'll be able people come in, they taste, and we eat. And you don't go hungry. No one goes away hungry.
Well, that's good. You know, I had this bottle of sake. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and when I knew I was coming here tonight, I thought we would toast a little bit later on with your wonderful Asian flavors. So you can see a whole room full of people ready to go.
And today, we're doing Asian appetizers. And we're going to try some new things today, things that I learned a few things for the class. I learned how to make my own dumpling wrappers. And I've never done that before, so I've done it twice now, and it turned out pretty good. So we're gonna try it again today. But first thing I thought we'd do is do some nice, basic, easy ones, because the whole thing of this class is making things that you can make at home that you aren't intimidated, kind of demystifying recipes. So first one we're gonna do, nice, easy one. We've taken kind of from P.F. Chang's, who really got this going. And there's other places around who also do it. We're gonna try some Asian lettuce cups. Let's talk knife skills, because if everyone comes up here to help me again, I know I do this every class, but it never can get old. Don't hold a knife like this. You hold a knife like that. This is my assistant.
Yay!
Remember from last class? Just keep stirring it up.
Don't work.
There we go. Now, what I like about this one, and I kind of come up with this from the internet, is set up a bar. You know, we can set this up and let your guests customize any way they'd like. This is my dough. Anybody else want to come up? Come on.
Come on, don't let the person
Come on. Beautiful. That's the steam one. We'll pass these this way.
Now, you two have been to many of these classes.
Yes.
And what have you learned?
A lot. Learned a lot, for sure.
Well, you're a big help, John.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see Jack calls out to you quite a bit.
Well, I'm still kind of new, so he's picking on me.
So of all the different flavors, because you guys are getting married.
Yes.
Newlyweds to be. What, of all the courses you've taken here, which type of food do you like the best?
I think we really like the Asian. Yeah. Like whether it's Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, the Thai, like we're real big into like sushi.
So who's
steak.
gonna do the cooking when we're wed?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You'll do cleanup.
Yeah.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.